You're watching this video, so there's quite a good chance that you've taken your cage off and you are searching for what to do now. So the first thing you're going to do is just take a breather, take a step back and be like, okay, that's fine, I've taken it off. Whether you took it off in a moment of frustration, whether you took it off in kind of a planned thing and were thinking about it, it's not that big of a deal, okay? So a lot of people, they build up chastity to be a really massive thing, and it is quite challenging. It's not easy. It's not necessarily meant to be easy. You're reprogramming your brain and you're changing your routines and you're creating a different relationship with your body. So it's fine. A lot of people think, I'm going to put this cage on, I'm going to go from touching myself multiple times a day to absolutely nothing, and then they find it hard and take the cage off, and there's this sort of weight of their own expectations which comes crashing down. They feel very depressed, very upset. It is kind of a sub drop. But what you need to think about is that it's quite easy for you to get back on the right track. There's nothing that you can't fix. So another thing that might be in play here is that you have either a key holder who is virtual or a partner and you feel like you've disappointed them. Obviously you should have just communicated with them. Communication is key, whether it's communicating with yourself over your needs and wants and taking the time to reflect on that and to listen to your body and what you need, or whether it's communicating with your partner and saying, hi, I really need to take this off, or I can't go any further. So you might have been quite secretive, you might have pulled it off without permission. That's obviously going to add to your shame cycle, and there's a thing called purging, or I like to call it running away as well, where what people will do, they'll take their cage off and then they will just try and delete any memory of it, whether that, I work online, so whether it's their accounts, whether it's any, you know, like the cage will go in the bin, everything, they just try and wipe it, all their search history. And what you don't want to do is fall into that trap, because you'll feel worse long term. So the best thing you can do is not look at it like a failure, look at it like a learning curve. So what brought you to that? So you're gonna have, like I say, have a step back, watch this video. Once you're done, take some quiet time, sort of writing out your feelings. I always say this, I find it really useful to write out your feelings, even if you never look at them again, because it's the act of doing it, or voice note yourself, or, you know, tell a friend, just something to allow you to process what's happened, why it's happened. So did you try and go for too long? Were you wearing something that was uncomfortable? Was there something else in your life that triggered it? Were you maybe like out with your friends and then you didn't feel comfortable in your cage anymore? Were you, you know, drinking? Were you at the gym? Did someone see it? What was it that actually made you take it off? What made you do it? Was it just that you were sexually frustrated? Was there something else? So when you can sort of identify what it was, then you're able to move forward. So your cage is probably off just now. If it's not, congratulations on putting it on already, for getting it back on. But honestly, your first reaction quite often is just to throw it out, to feel really ashamed, and just for everything to go away. Throwing it in the bin won't help you. You're only going to have to buy another cage when you want to come back to it. So if you do feel quite down, what I would recommend, just put the cage somewhere, whether it's in a drawer, in a box, just somewhere that's out of sight for a few days that you can get it back. So you just want to give yourself space. You want to let your emotions happen and then get back into it. And I think the important thing to do is to look at chastity as a journey, you know, as a lifestyle, but it's not always easy. And you don't need to have your cage on 24/7 as much as a lot of the media is around that. I mean, I create a lot of content about cage for life, locked for life. You don't necessarily have to be locked 24/7 to still be in chastity and still be successful. You want to have a chat with your partner or your key holder. If you have taken it off, you want to say, hey, I've taken the cage off, and if you need time, say I need a couple days. If you can tell them why you took it off, I mean, that will probably help your relationship long term, because they'll understand more. If not, it's enough just to say, I've taken it off, I need a break, I'll be back. I wouldn't recommend deleting all your accounts if you are online. I wouldn't recommend deleting like everything and going into a purge cycle, because I feel like that just adds to your sense of shame. And yeah, you're going to regret it in a few weeks, or even instantly after you've done it, which isn't going to make you feel better. So like I say, take a breather, think about why it's happened, set yourself some goals. If you can, like just now, get the cage back on and just be like, okay, cool, put it on. It's happened, it's over. And yeah, that is what you're going to do, is you're going to take some time for yourself, and then you're going to put your cage back on. You're going to restart, whether you last a couple of hours, whether you last a day, a week, a month, a year. It's fine. You've taken the cage off, touched yourself, cool. What we're doing now, we're putting it back on and we're going again. So yeah, just keep that in mind. There's nothing to feel ashamed about. It is not an easy thing to do. A lot of people struggle with it, and the thing that's going to make the real difference to yourself and your journey and going forward is the way that you handle this. So you will be able to take this into other parts of your life. When something doesn't go to plan, you'll be able to take this experience and go forward, okay? You're going to feel so much better after you've had your little chill out and you've got the cage back on. And you know what? If you have your chill out, if you need a few days off, a week off, that's fine. You put the cage on and you think, this isn't for me, that's fine as well. But at least you've not done it in a moment of frustration. You've not done it in a moment of shame. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. If you were looking for something groundbreaking, I don't know what you wanted. Did you want me to tell you to like weld it to yourself? Is it no surgically implanted? Maybe we'll just chop the dingle dangle off. But yeah, in all seriousness, I hope you're feeling okay, because I know it can be quite hard, especially if you've built up your expectations, especially during Locktober. It's a big thing. A lot of people come into it going, I'm going to do this whole month, and then the last few days they get very ashamed because there's all this sort of buzz around it and everyone's saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So okay, for a start, not everyone's wearing a cage all the time. Some people are just saying they are. A lot of people are wearing the cage for the whole month, but not everyone is, okay? So just chill, we're good, we're fine. And you're gonna go and you're gonna have a fun day. And then the cage is going back on, and you're gonna comment down below and you're gonna say, thank you, Lara, because you were right, okay? You're gonna tell me I'm right because I know I'm right. But I just like the ego stroked, okay? So anyway, I hope you have a good day going on. But I really do hope that you're feeling okay, that you're not letting this get you down too much, because obviously it is a real thing when you have sub drop and when you have this sort of feeling that not everything's going right. The best thing you can do, honestly, I've said this so many times, don't throw everything out, don't delete everything. You'll feel better in a couple days, a couple hours, but even take a week, but you will be glad that you've pushed through, okay? If you need to take it off your phone, that's fine, but you're gonna feel worse if you delete all the content that you've bought, if you unsubscribe from, you know, like if you're in a subreddit or a Discord group or something that's helping you, you're gonna lose your support network, you're gonna lose everything that you've kind of built up, so you'll find it harder to get back into the headspace. So just chill, like I say, I've said it so many times, chill, and come back and tell me I'm right when you put the cage on, okay?